When Gu Yuan learned that Medusa was pregnant with Xiao Yan's child, his reaction was far more complex than anyone expected. As the patriarch of the Gu clan and a peak 9-star Dusheng powerhouse, Gu Yuan had long lived above the mundane matters of the world. His primary focus was on breaking through to the Dodi realm, a goal that required total dedication and left no room for trivial concerns like romance, family building, or emotional entanglements. Ironically, in an era where polygamy was entirely accepted, Gu Yuan stood out as an anomaly. A man of discipline who never took an interest in women despite the countless beauties around him. That's why the idea of lineage continuation became an issue. The higher one's cultivation realm, the harder it became to produce offspring. Even supreme experts like Soul Emperor and Xiao Yan had no direct heirs. This reality made the birth of any descendant from someone like Xiao Yan, a member of the once glorious Xiao clan, all the more shocking. Gu Yuan had always taken a personal interest in Xun'er's well-being. After the death of Xiao Yan, Xun'er's mother remained under his protection. Her strength was nothing to be underestimated, and yet for reasons unknown, she only ever gave birth to Xun'er. The mystery behind this decision even puzzled Gu Yuan himself. Perhaps it reflected a rare form of genuine love, something pure amidst a world filled with schemes and ambition. As for Medusa and Xiao Yan, Gu Yuan wasn't clueless. He kept a close eye on Xiao Yan from the beginning, and nothing escaped his attention, not even gossip. If Xun'er knew about Xiao Yan's relationship with Medusa, Gu Yuan certainly did. Every time Ling Ying returned from a reconnaissance mission, Gu Yuan would intercept him to extract every detail. The day he heard that Xiao Yan had fathered a child with a powerful snake tribe, Dozong beneath the Tianfenqi training tower, Gu Yuan was visibly shaken. The astonishment on his face wasn't something he could hide. He was caught between disbelief and amusement. For a descendant of Xiao Yuan to have the audacity to form a union with the queen of the snake tribe, that took guts. In Gu Yuan's eyes, it was a bold and even outrageous move. But in a strange way, it echoed the fearless bloodline of the Xiao clan. Still, despite that fleeting pride, he couldn't ignore his daughter's feelings. Xun'er had clearly fallen deeply in love with Xiao Yan after returning from the Yao clan. For Gu Yuan, who always prioritized his daughter above all else, this news was difficult. But Gu Yuan was not a narrow-minded father. He accepted polygamy as part of the ancient norms, and although surprised, he didn't react irrationally. At the time, Xiao Yan was still weak. His cultivation was far from matching the lofty expectations of a clan like the Gu clan. Whether he could ever truly stand beside Xun'er as her equal was still uncertain. So Gu Yuan chose not to interfere for the time being. Everything changed the moment Xiao Yan arrived within the Gu clan. By then, he had already reached the 5-star Du Sun realm and had even defeated Gu Yao, one of the 4 commanding generals of the Gu clan, who was an 8-star Du Sun. That feat alone sent shockwaves through the clan's hierarchy. It forced everyone, including Gu Yuan, to reevaluate Xiao Yan's strength and potential. Not only that, but Xun'er's love for Xiao Yan grew stronger after their reunion at Ice River Valley. She no longer cared about the opinions of the clan elders or the expectations of her family. She chose to publicly declare her love for Xiao Yan in front of everyone, without hesitation or shame. This defiance impressed even Gu Yuan. His daughter's willpower, boldness, and stubborn affection reminded him that love is not something that can be controlled, no matter how powerful or authoritative one may be. But Gu Yuan also understood the dangers of love, especially when divine blood is involved. Xun'er carried the divine bloodline of the Gu clan. Any accident, mistake, or uncontrolled impulse could result in irreparable damage. If anything were to happen to her, Gu Yuan would bear the blame, not only as a father, but as the clan leader. That's why he took the initiative to speak with Xiao Yan privately, not to discuss ancient jade or clan politics, but to make one thing clear. Before Xun'er reaches the Dusheng realm, nothing must happen between them. No intimacy, no risk, no compromise. Xiao Yan, to his credit, responded with calmness. He claimed that he wasn't someone who rushed into physical relationships. But Gu Yuan remained skeptical. After all, Xiao Yan had already gotten involved with Medusa under unorthodox circumstances. His track record spoke for itself. Gu Yuan's greatest fear wasn't loss of chastity, it was the risk to Xun'er's divine bloodline. If that bloodline were damaged or affected before her advancement, it would be a catastrophe. In that case, Xiao Yan wouldn't just lose the Gu clan's support, he would be marked as an eternal enemy of the clan, hunted and hated forever. Even after Xiao Yan returned from the heavenly curtain realm, Gu Yuan brought it up again. He reminded him to restrain himself until Xun'er's breakthrough to Dosheng was complete. Xiao Yan honored this condition. He waited. But the moment Xun'er reached the Dosheng realm, Xiao Yan wasted no time. Their first meeting afterward resulted in Xiao Yan using the pure lotus demon fire on her, solidifying their bond in the most explosive way. Gu Yuan could only sigh in frustration. The situation had passed beyond his control. All he could do was accept it. At that point, there was no turning back. Gu Yuan understood that he would have to hand over his daughter to this man. Still, there was one unresolved issue: Medusa. While Gu Yuan had no intention of interfering in the personal relationships between the two women, he was waiting for the right moment to observe the situation for himself, to see what kind of person Medusa truly was and how she would affect his daughter's future. That moment arrived during the intense battle at the Burial Heaven Mountains. Gu Yuan finally came face to face with Medusa, now known as Kai Lin, who had already stepped into the 4-star Daoxing realm. Her presence alone was astonishing. The 9-colored sky-swallowing python bloodline within her wasn't just rare, it was comparable to divine great blood. Her strength could even rival the blood of the Dragon King from the Tai Shu ancient dragon clan. For the first time, Gu Yuan saw that Medusa was more than a fierce warrior. She was a woman of dignity, pride, and overwhelming power. Xiao Yan's connection with her suddenly didn't seem like a scandal. It felt justified. Even more surprising was the dynamic between Medusa and Xun'er. Gu Yuan had expected hostility, resentment, or at the very least, cold tension. Instead, what he witnessed was understanding and mutual respect. The two women, once thought to be romantic rivals, had actually found common ground. That moment brought peace to Gu Yuan's heart. He no longer had any objections. Eventually, after Xiao Yan successfully became a Dudi, he held a grand wedding and married both Xun'er and Medusa at the same time. It was a fitting end to a turbulent chapter and a clear sign of Xiao Yan's growth, not just in strength, but in responsibility. For Gu Yuan, it wasn't just the acceptance of a son-in-law. It was the beginning of a new era for the Gu clan, one where love, power, and destiny finally aligned. So what do you think about Gu Yuan's unexpected reaction? From a skeptical patriarch to a silent supporter, his transformation truly adds depth to the world of battle through the heavens. Xiao Yan's journey isn't just about power, it's about winning the trust of those who once doubted him and uniting hearts across impossible divides. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Gu Yuan's perspective and the relationships surrounding Xiao Yan, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more insights and hidden lore from the world of Donghua. Your support means everything. It helps us bring you even more content like this. Until next time, stay passionate, stay curious, and keep exploring the world of cultivation.